Hi, I'm Lauren Vandermast with laurenvandermast.com. I'm an elite performance coach and I help athletes and sports people achieve peak performance through coaching and specialized exercise programs. In this video, I'm going to share a little bit more about my background, my philosophy when it comes to training athletes and how I work. So just a really brief overview about my background. I was always an outdoors kid. I played a lot of sports, but the main highlights were soccer, rock climbing, and martial arts. Through my teenage years, we won a lot of soccer grand finals, a lot of state cups, and finished minor premiers. In rock climbing, I was ranked third in Australia, and more recently in jiu-jitsu, I placed second in the World Cup. There is a lot to my background and turning points through my own training and how I've worked with clients and the results I've gotten. But I'm just going to share with you the turning point, the original turning point where my brain started to think outside the square and where it's all sort of started from. So when I started rock climbing, I was 19, and being a competitive person, I set myself a really high goal and I set about working as hard as I could to achieve that goal. Unlike soccer, when I had played soccer in a team, we just did what the coach said. So now all of a sudden I'm in the driver's seat of my training. So I was doing as much as I could. I was climbing 4 days a week. I'd rock climb outside all weekend on the cliffs, and I would train inside a rock climbing gym in the afternoons twice a week. And then I was doing all this other training as well. So I was running heaps, I was doing weights at the gym, I was doing gym classes. And if you bulk that all together, that kind of worked out to be around 8 hours of training plus the climbing that I was doing. So 8 hours of training, gym, exercise, that kind of stuff. And I wanted to get as strong as possible, obviously. And I wanted to lose a few kilos of body fat. I wanted to be lean so that I wasn't lugging that around when I was climbing as well. So I'm doing all these exercise programs, much like anybody else who walks in the gym. I see this, I've been watching this happen for the last 14 years. People walk in the gym and do exactly what I was doing, and I wasn't getting the results that I wanted. Months are going by. Anyway, finally I went to a personal trainer and he cut my 8-hour program a week of training down to about 2 hours or less. And I've looked at this program and went, how could this possibly help me achieve my goals? Like, I'm used to doing 8 hours of training. Like, how is this going to help me? But I just was like, you know what? I'm just going to try it. What have I got to lose? So I've put this program into practice, and I kid you not, within 2 weeks, I dropped all of the excess body fat that I wanted to lose that I couldn't for months. And I got incredibly strong, incredibly fast. So in the rock climbing world, we have numbers for the grades, and as the number goes up, the difficulty goes up. So when I started this training program, I was completely average. I was doing, if anybody sort of started rock climbing and did it kind of consistently, like I was that average sort of nothing special level. And then suddenly I've climbed up 4 grades, and that actually put me into sort of like another level of, above average. And I did that in the space of a month with this 2-week training program. How did I do that? So the reason I share this story is because it was a massive light bulb moment for me. And while I've got on to further develop it using different philosophies, the thought process is the same. How can we completely maximize a person's results and be really specific and just cut out all that BS, all the time and energy wasting exercises? More often than not, what I see as a coach is just too many people with who are talented and they're gifted and they've got their sport goal or their training goal, athletes or sports people. And I actually see this in the general fitness world as well. And they've got this goal and they're working incredibly hard to achieve this goal or maximize their results, but they're never ever going to realize their full potential. And more often than not, it's from, I guess, lack of information, understanding of what they're actually doing and where their body's at and what exercises they're doing. And they're falling, prey to bad injuries. So your injuries, or they're just never going to get there because the training program's just never going to get them there. Or they run out of steam or motivation. And that's just because, if you've spent years and years working really, really hard and you're stuck on this plateau, well, you probably are going to reach a point where you think, well, I feel like I'm wasting my time. Maybe I need to move on. So what I do with my clients is what I call training smart, and there's a lot of pieces that make up this puzzle, but of course you've got your training, well, training hacks, what I call. So that's just, getting really, really specific with that. But I also pull on things from the coaching, tools and nervous system work, and I'll go into that a little bit more as I explain my philosophy. So let's just take a quick look at my philosophy. I'll just give you an overview, right? So the key to my philosophy is that your foundation is key. So I just use the analogy of a house. You could have an incredibly strong house. You could build a super, super strongest house in the world, but if the foundation is not solid, it's not strong, no matter how strong you make the house, it's going to end up faulty, right? So this is the same with your training program. And I find that with my athletes, just by working on the foundational stuff, just doing that little bit alone is enough for them to start reducing pain in their body, overcoming injuries, and seeing that momentum start to increase and just feeling good in their body. And usually that happens within the first 1 to 2 weeks, so 1 to 2 sessions. The results start going up for them where they should be. So like I mentioned before, I use a lot of different philosophies when we are building this incredibly strong foundation. And then on top of that, we have what I call training smart, and that's where you're cutting out the BS and you're really wanting to see, realize your full potential, maximize those results that you're getting. So there are a couple of different ways you can work with me. I do private one-on-one sessions. If you are local to the Port Macquarie area, you can do them in person at one of the gyms that I use here, or you can do the one-on-one sessions online, like via Skype or something like that. But I have courses that you can run as well. And while you're more than welcome to start with one-on-one sessions, that's completely up to you. I do suggest doing the courses because I think knowledge is power, and in teaching you, I want you to understand what's going to work best for your body, because while I can teach you what works best for your body in a session, things change as well, right? So it's good to just have a really good, clear understanding of what you're doing, why you're doing it, and how your body's, working, so that you can kind of become your own coach, and you're going to be able to develop and adapt your programs as you need, as your goals change, or, as your results change, or maybe something changes in your body and you want to be able to work with that as well. So the courses are there, but by all means, the one-on-one sessions are available. And they're all under the shop tab on my website. You can see everything, find everything out there. So thanks for watching my video and finding out a little bit more about me and how I work. I do look forward to working with you, right, whether that's in the courses or one-on-one. And if you've got some incredibly exciting results that you've had, definitely send them through to me, because I like to hear about what you guys are achieving as well. So thanks again, and I'll catch you guys soon.